Merry Christmas. I'm Jody Pritzel, author of Vintage American-Made Glass Christmas Ornaments, lots of pictures, and Immigrants, Ornaments, and Legacies, a story of American-made glass Christmas ornaments, tons of facts. My latest book is The December Dilemma, U.S. Christmas Stamps 1962 to 1972. Who knew it wasn't until 1962 that the United States issued a Christmas stamp? I didn't, had to dig in, done a ton of research. All the books are available at Amazon.com. Viewers and watchers email me at booksbyjody2021@gmail.com and ask, hey, what's up with Coby Glass? Were they an American-made glass Christmas manufacturer of bulbs? Was there a relationship between Coby Glass and Corning Glass Works? Were they a market leader? Whatever happened to them? Is there a relationship between Coby Glass and George Franke? Well, we have to go back to 1910 for our tale of tenacity. Grigory Kobashidze emigrates from Russia, Georgia to the United States. He goes to work for General Electric. Short in stature, gregarious, has a lot of friends, and one of his friends is Eli Agnatoff, who owns a lamp manufacturing company in New Jersey. George and Eli in 1919 formed Brite Light Manufacturing Company. And they are in the business of, get this, car lamp bulbs for headlights. They catch the wave because, believe it or not, headlights were becoming a big deal. They ride that wave. They're so successful until they lose a patent infringement suit with General Electric. Forced to pivot, they start making radio tubes under the Triad brand and selling them to RCA, Westinghouse, and General Electric. But here comes 1932, and they go bankrupt. By this point, Grigory has become George Coby. And he says, well, once you lost your first million, you might as well make a second. He forms Coby Glass Company in Lonsdale, Rhode Island. And he starts making medical tubes. Where have we heard that before, huh? Premier Glass Works? I think at this point he's buying bulk glass from Corning Glass Works. Now, Rhode Island is a very small state. Shout out to Rhode Island, love your beaches, but you're kind of a small state. Corning Glass Works is in Central Falls, Rhode Island, just south of Lonsdale, Rhode Island. They have a huge manufacturing employing 860 people. So I think there's a relationship buying bulk glass. George Coby hires a manager named James Puglisi, who's a whiz with mechanical equipment. In 1951, that's when Coby Glass starts selling American-made glass ornaments in this box. Lonsdale, Rhode Island. It is rumored that Coby Glass can only make 10 million bulbs. Now, think about that. There's a ribbon machine in Central Falls, Rhode Island. Coby Glass, I'm betting, is sourcing blank bulbs, some blank bulbs, because it's also evidence, there's also evidence that Coby Glass was buying from Corning cash on demand. Now on this box, Coby Glass sells 7 shapes, and one of them is this Santa. Viewer Al sent in this Santa, which looks nothing like the one on the box, but I think that's because it's a rare Corning Coby Santa. There's a rarity equation, which is years sold times how many of a specific shape were in a box. I think the Santa was only sold for a couple of years, and if they were selling 10 million ornaments, well, that's only 800,000 dozen. So how many Santas were actually made? And that's 70 to 80 years ago. So I think there was actually very few Santas that were sold under Coby Glass. So luckily Al's got several of them. In 1958, George Coby, his lease is up, and he moves the factory from Lonsdale to Woonsocket, Rhode Island. He's selling 7 colors of bulbs: red, green, gold, blue, magenta, chartreuse, and pink. James has developed silvering and lacquering machines that you can see in this picture. Coby Glass only has 65 employees, hard workers, cost control, tight management. And so they're doing a pretty good, successful job. But I still think at this point, they're buying some Coby Glass from Corning Glassworks. Now you can see in this picture that Coby Glass is selling striped ornaments here on the packaging line in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And I think they're putting the bulbs into this box. Remember that you have old stock boxes, new stock boxes, but this is a Woonsocket box. So they could be using that green box, they could be using the bigger green box, and they could be using this box from 1964 to about 1967. Now back to Corning and Central Falls. There was a ribbon machine. There had been a ribbon machine there in Central Falls. And if you look at this mold picture, you can see that Corning was selling reflector bulbs. And if you look at this other picture, here's a Coby Glass reflector. I'm not sure about the quality, but at least there is a link between Coby Glass reflectors, bulk glass, and that proximity that we have in Rhode Island. In 1967, George Koby passes away and hands off the company to James Puglisi. James does his darndest, and wouldn't you know it, he lands the biggest account possible. And this is where you have the Koby sash box. Does this scream blue light special or what? Coby Glass starts selling Kmart, which is just barreling onto the scene. This box comes in red gold, the flamboyant blue-green, and also a red-blue. You can also see that there's different shapes. Now, I still think that they're sourcing from Corning at this point. So the sash box is really indicative of that 1970s modern time. Then you also have Coby Glass bells. GE historian Jeff Carter sent me this picture of a catalog from General Electric. Now, General Electric had the only ribbon machine outside of Corning Glassworks to make light bulbs. If you look at this catalog picture, you're going to see the bell. Now, here's the Koby bell. So we know that James at this point must be selling also bells to some of those major retailers. And the second Koby box that you may recognize comes in. This is the Koby tree box. It comes in red gold and also comes in the flamboyant blue gold. And then here comes another Koby box from the 1970s. Now, I like this one. I think Christmas is Koby is kind of catchy. So if you look at it, this is that branding you might have seen a lot in the 1970s. You think things are going well and Coby Glass is going to last a long, long time. Well, the price of silver goes up, and Coby Glass has moved to Poplar Bluff, Missouri. So James moves the company from Rhode Island to Poplar Bluff. Shout out to my friends in Poplar Bluff, been there many times. So the company goes into bankruptcy in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. And who buys it? Franke Essex Company buys Coby Glass for $3.8 million. You might remember your trivia. Franke Essex had bought George Franke's Sons Company in Baltimore, Maryland. By 1983, Coby Glass fades into obscurity. At one point, they were rumored to have 90% market share. You got to source from somebody if you've got 90% market share and you're selling Kmart. So Coby Glass did manufacture American-made glass Christmas ornaments, and they did have a relationship with Corning. At various times, they would have had a relationship buying bulk glass, shapes reflectors, possibly a relationship with GE buying bells. As I just mentioned, they were a market leader, and there was that relationship. Now, I want you to be careful, too, because a Franke cap and a Coby cap are basically identical. And I don't want you to get swindled, so always check your caps, because if you look at this Coby box that I've got sitting up here, I thought I was buying 5 beautiful Coby Glass ornaments, and wouldn't you know it, I've got 5 shiny Brites. Email me your questions at booksbyjody2021@gmail.com and email your tree pictures because I'll post them at booksbyjody.com. Thanks for watching my videos and buying my books. Merry Christmas.